بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. A question that's been raised by people that have tried to undermine the credibility of and the importance of the 12th Imam, the awaited Savior. And that question deals with his emissaries. In other words, his appointed deputies, the 4 individuals that were handpicked and selected by the Imam in order to serve as his connection to the outside world while he was in the lesser occultation and the period that paved the way for the greater occultation. So the question, simply put, is, are these people reliable? Are these individuals that we can actually trust and believe that they were somehow connected to and were in constant communication with the 12th Imam? And the answer is absolutely. There is no question amongst Shia scholars for over 1,000 years as to the reliability of these 4 lofty and holy personalities. Why? Number one, note the fact that at least the first and the second emissaries, meaning Uthman ibn Sa'id al-Amri and Muhammad ibn Uthman ibn Sa'id, these 2 individuals were authenticated and were declared reliable by more than one Imam. Starting with Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, then Imam al-Hasan al-Askari, and finally the 12th Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah. In fact, the famous hadith states, and the hadith itself has been authenticated by our scholars, which says, Al-Amri wabnuhu thiqatan, fama addaya ilayka fa'anni yu'addiyan. Imam al-Askari alayhi salam and Imam al-Hadi both have stated that these 2 individuals are reliable, and so whatever they tell you, whatever they convey to you, they are conveying those things from me. They're communicating my message to you. They're not manufacturing, they're not concocting anything. And so that tells you just how reliable they were. So number one, they've been authenticated by the Imams themselves. Number 2, these individuals were tested. It's not like the Shia woke up one day and saw someone claiming to be connected to the Imam and simply submitted and accepted their claim. They tested them rigorously. They went to them. In fact, there are stories where, for instance, in the case of Hussein ibn Ruh, they went to him and they said, how do we know you're telling the truth? So they wrote a letter on a piece of paper without any ink. Imagine that. So they wrote something without any ink and without leaving a mark. Then they handed the letter to him and said, how about we get an answer to the question that's in this letter? In other words, they didn't actually write anything. They just had a question in their minds, which they all agreed on, and asked him to convey it to the Imam, so the Imam would then provide an answer. And he did, to their satisfaction. So the Shia, the community of the followers of the Ahlul Bayt, they tested these individuals and they confirmed their reliabilities. And finally, I'll mention this point, it's what they conveyed from the Imam which attests to their reliability. Things like Du'a ul-Iftitah, this incredible, impeccable text, other supplications that have been reported by the emissaries of Imam al-Zaman, they speak for the fact that they are reliable, that they were indeed telling the truth when they claim to be connected to the 12th Imam, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif.